Hey everybody, this is Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and ScooterWest.com. Well, I got the scooter as a trade-in, and it's just a little dirty, kind of been left out. You can see all these black plastic pieces and even the matte finish. It's a little chalky, and I just wanted to show some of the products I'd used to clean up and detail a scooter like this. In the past, I've showed how to clean Vespas with different products. The first thing I'd do if it was really dirty, I'd probably take it over to the pressure wash room and carefully, foam the whole bike with like a car wash soap, and then pressure wash it and wipe it down with some new microfiber rags so you're not pushing the grime into it. But just want to show you what we have that's really good for the matte finish paint. It's just a waterless spray, and it's the Starbright Ultimate Matte Finish Spray Cleaner Dash Matte is the Scooter West part number for that. And you just spray it on, have a nice clean microfiber rag, wipe it off. But a lot of scooters, they have plastic like this, and it starts getting like kind of sun faded just being out in the open. And there's just various products. I found one of the best products that if you really need to renew is this Chemical Guys VRP. I've used on cars. And I'll kind of show you how it works. A little bit lighter weight product would be this PJ1 Renew Protectant, and I can kind of show you the difference. They both kind of have similar chemicals, just this one's just lighter and more of a spray-on versus the other one's like a goop. But you can see how nice the plastic looks once you just put a little bit on there. And I'd use like a terry towel to wipe it off. And if you're looking for a lot of restoration of this kind of plastic, this stuff is a little bit better because it's got a little bit more consistency to it, and it really brings out the shine. It's not like Armor All. I wouldn't recommend using Armor All. It's pretty greasy and it doesn't last that long. This stuff you put on and it kind of brings back the finish, and it stays for quite a long time. So you can see it looks almost brand new again. Some of the difficult spots, I don't know if the camera gets it, in the holes, so you may need to have other little tricks, whether it's curl up the rag or Q-tips or whatever, however far you want to go with detailing. But pretty much this would be probably the ideal product for something like this, where it's really quite chalky on all those pieces. All these little black plastic. I try not to get on the matte finish because it kind of leaves a greasy finish on the paint. Never looks that great. But just use new spots of the towel here. And it works on the rubber bits. There's one thing I avoid detailing on two-wheelers in general, is just tires. I know people like to put products on tires. It's just not worth the risk. You can clean the tires with like a degreaser. Don't have any problem with that, but putting any type of product like this, that's a little bit slick. It's not as slick as like Armor All, but it's still got some slipperiness to it. So you can see how nice that all came out. Something where there's the foot, again, this is like rubber, and you don't really want to make it too slippery, but a spray may work better just because this has a lot more like I don't know, little nooks and crannies, and it just goes much faster. So typically, the order, I'd detail all the, obviously pressure wash the bike first, detail all the black plastics. You could even use this stuff. It's for vinyl, so it'll work. This lightweight stuff's great on the seat. I don't know if I'd put that thick stuff on the seat. Maybe the seat was in really bad shape and dry, but at that point you're probably just better off reupholstering the seat. But you can see that really brings that luster out of that vinyl on the seat. Even under the seat, sometimes just give it one little spray just to kind of get all the little grits and stuff. You know, a lot of times people trade in scooters, kind of just like leave a lot of gooey stuff under the seat. Kind of want to clean it up. So I try to just like get through every area that the new owners, you know, gonna see. So I'm gonna go ahead and just detail the rest, and we'll come back with the matte finish and clean up the painted finishes on the scooter. So on this matte paint job, there's a couple flaws specifically on the top case, and it's what I think this is house paint from somebody backing this in, you know, up against the wall. There's a couple nicks that are all the way through to the plastic underneath. Pretty hard to touch it up where it will look perfect, like a nice smooth finish without respraying it. But we'll be able to remove all these marks, and I'll probably be able to get a touch-up. Probably use one of the Vespa colors, like Excalibur Silver is going to be a really close touch-up color. And the touch-up paint is just the base coat, so it kind of dries matte anyway, so I think it will kind of give some acceptable results. And when you need some heavy-duty cleaner to take stuff off, denatured alcohol, it's not as crazy as like acetone, but it will sometimes take off sap and all that stuff without damaging the paint. You can find this at like a Home Depot, home improvement store. Put a little on there, it doesn't really hurt your hands. And you can see it's taken this house paint off with ease. I mean, it already looks a lot better. Obviously, be careful not to rub too much. It will eventually start softening up the paint. But it's taken off most of this residue. And I'll find other little marks. I'll give it a try with that denatured alcohol. And obviously I'm using a clean part of this terry towel. You know, still a little bit of residue there, but it's doing the trick pretty good. While there's spots on this case. And we'll probably come back, I'll touch up those little nicks. Same with the levers, they have some little marks on it. Nice thing, the scooter's never been crashed, it's just got lots of little marks. Even the levers, this denatured alcohol kind of takes off that oxide layer that's built up on the levers. See it coming off on the racks, but it's kind of shining them up a little bit. The mirror stems. So it's a pretty strong cleaner, but it's useful on some of the trim. So kind of the final step in doing a detail, I'd use the Star Bright matte finish on the paint. And you can use it on other parts as well. Try not to overlap the chemicals. You probably don't want to use this if the scooter's really dirty. You know, you want to wash it with water. And we'll come back to the top case, going to do a little touch-up work on that. And just take a brand new nice microfiber rag and just kind of buff it right in. You can even buff the lenses. Sometimes the badges are a little difficult. You may need to like kind of fluff up your rag. A lot of times I like to open the seat so you can get these grooves because they get a lot of grunge in them that never gets cleaned out. All the way around. There we go. The grab handle is like a painted plastic on the scooter here. And now that I've kind of buffed it in, it looks like factory fresh shine, or matte finish shine, I guess you could say. It's kind of like just the way the scooter works. There's Star Bright waterless products that we also have available just for regular gloss clear coats. You know, kind of the more traditional finish you find on scooters. All right, right, so the last thing I'm gonna do is touch up some of these scratches. I didn't put any more coatings like any of those waterless cleaners on this. That denatured alcohol kind of degreased all these little spots here. And the Piaggio colors, we have almost all the modern Vespa colors. I'm using Excalibur Silver, which is a Vespa color, and I think it should be close. It's kind of a flaky silver. You want to shake it up. Does have a brush. The brush tends to be a little on the gooey side. Your best bet for touch up, these are kind of bigger nicks. A scratch, a lot of times I'll make like a little filament out of a popsicle stick or even a toothpick. You can make like a little filament and you can just dab it in with a stick, and that actually works pretty good. And obviously the more time you spend with touching up, if you're going to do multiple layers and carefully sand it down, that's how you're going to get the best results. I just want to cover up these little black spots. I think that's acceptable for this finish, especially since you can't really get a clear coat in matte for the touch-up. So I'll have this open. I kind of made a filament that's a little more coarse because the brush is, it says, pretty messy trying to use the brush. So kind of wipe a little bit off, and then I can just dab it in there. And you can even use a stick to kind of wipe it off. If you have too much, I kind of got it dabbed where it just perfectly filled that little scratch. And it's okay that it's outside. As it dries, it kind of shrinks. With this paint, normally you do have a activator or a catalyzer in there. You have to spray through a gun or something, but it will dry on its own. I'm not going to put any clean products on it for a day. Maybe leave it out in the sun, and maybe I'll come back and do another round of touch-up. But I'm just using a stick to kind of dab the paint into the area of the scratch, and that's it. Some of the real small stuff, not too worried about. I think it will look uglier. I just want to do all the spots where it's all the way to the plastic, or in the case of a Vespa, it might be to the metal. So I think we're pretty good right there. I'll let that dry. I think it should look good, and if you're not happy with the results, you can always sand it with some really fine sandpaper, like 800 or 1000 grit sandpaper. Very carefully sand it down so it's flat. But even though it looks puffed out, I don't know if the camera's getting that, it will dry a little flatter. But I think that silver is really, really close. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you found that useful, just for some tips on how to detail your scooter. Of course, if you really want to go down the rabbit hole of detailing a vehicle, not much different than detailing a car. So you can find lots of really good videos on detailing different parts of a car. You know, just the scooters are unique because you do have a lot more of this like black plastic cladding, and sometimes you have things like the matte finish paint. So it's a little different, and that's why I thought to share some of the products I would use to clean up this scooter. Well, thanks for watching. Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and ScooterWest.com. The first time around this channel, check out our channel on YouTube, Vespa Motorsport. I have well over 900 videos, mostly about Vespa scooters, but there's other scooter content in there as well. If you're looking for parts or accessories for a Vespa or Piaggio scooter, or even other brands of scooters such as tires, check us out on the web at ScooterWest.com. We'll see you on the next one.